Super Typhoon Utor is currently located just east of the Philippine coast and is likely to make landfall in the next 6 to 12 hours as a super typhoon with winds of 150 miles per hour. That's high-end Category 4 strength with a pressure of 926 millibars, so quite a ferocious storm out there at the moment. It certainly doesn't get much more serious than this. Current positions 15.4 degrees north, 123.8 degrees east, expected to move towards the west-northwest. Beyond Luzon Island into a Category 2 storm in the South China Sea, and then probably another landfall in China as a typhoon. Signal 3 warnings currently in effect for parts of eastern Luzon. They may be upgraded further to Signal 4 warnings perhaps in the next hour or two when the next update comes in from Pagasa. Signal 2 warnings in effect for most of eastern and central Luzon as well, and then Signal 1 warning in effect for the rest of Luzon. So that's basically the southern coast there and the very northeastern tip at the moment, currently under Signal 1 warnings, and those may be upgraded as well, closer to where the storm makes landfall, especially on the western coast in particular as well. So let's take a look at the sea surface temperatures then. High temperatures around the Philippine Islands, around 29 to 30 degrees, which is certainly enough for tropical cyclone development and the sustainability for this one. Looking at the shear maps as well, which I don't have here, but the shear is certainly rather low as well, so the storm certainly won't be debilitating after it passes Luzon, but obviously the land interaction will certainly weaken it to some extent. But as I say, around 30 degrees generally water temperatures, which is certainly enough to sustain this storm, but obviously moving over Luzon it will weaken quite a degree. This is the latest satellite imagery the past 24 hours or so. You can see the storm moving towards the west-northwest, passing eastern Luzon and now moving towards the central part. You can see the eye forming there in the past few hours as well, which has just disappeared in the past few frames, but the storm is still intensifying, or at least was in the past few hours. 150 miles per hour, so that's almost bordering on Category 5 strength. But nonetheless it will certainly be very damaging along the landfall area, and you can see quite an intense core as well, which could lead to some flooding around the landfall area and indeed inland, maybe even on the western coast as well, if the storm keeps itself rather well maintained as it moves over the Philippine Islands. So this is the latest flow through imagery. You can see a variation of what we have here, the storm moving towards the west-northwest. And it appears that the landfall location will probably be somewhere around Aurora Province as a Category 4 storm, a strong Category 4 storm super typhoon. So looking at the world tropics then for August the 11th at 3 PM UTC, Henriette has weakened to a tropical depression. That wasn't shown there, it was still a tropical storm, but it has weakened to a depression, 35 miles per hour. And a few other invests out there as well. Invest 92E, which is down to 20% chance of development, and 97W, which is in the South China Sea already, which is not likely to intensify in the next few days. But obviously Utor is the main thing going on at the moment, making landfall in the Philippines in the next 6 hours or so. So let's take a look at 2013 compared then. This is the 10th storm of the season so far, the third typhoon and the second one to reach Category 3 strength, and I believe it's the first one to reach super typhoon strength, which is 150 miles per hour or higher, and it's certainly a cause for concern for the Philippines right now. 4 storms until we reach 2010, which is the current quietest season on record. We'll certainly surpass that in the next month or two, or even less than that possibly. So don't forget you can track the storm at the website force13.com/stormtracking.html. That's the main place for the storm tracking information. There will be updates throughout this next 12 to 24 hours on the website in between videos, and you can also visit us elsewhere on the web on Facebook and Twitter. Just search Force 13, you should find us fairly easily enough. We'll have another full update on Utor coming up in the bulletin this evening, bulletin number 59. That will be at around midnight UTC on the morning of Monday, August 12th. That's around, I believe, 8 or 9 AM Philippine time. So stay tuned for that, but stay on the website for the time being, because that's where we'll have the most updates. That's all for now.